life, I've been a global traveller, seeking cultures and traditions that are just as vibrant today as in times past. We're opening doors, stepping into worlds most never see, because that's where the best stories are. We're sharing tales of local life and the working world, plus spending time with some of the most interesting people you'd ever want to meet. It's truly privileged access that always leaves me excited to explore more. In this episode of Exploring More with Karine, I want to share with you Vikings' thoughtful, innovative approach to exploring the far ends of the globe, the top and bottom of the world, the incredible polar regions. Centuries ago, the Vikings established a tradition of exploration that took them to Europe, Russia, the Middle East, and the shores of North America. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, intrepid Norwegians again led the way, exploring the vast, largely unknown polar regions. This heritage of firsts continues with Viking. We first popularized river cruising, then reinvented the ocean voyage. And now we're leading the way once more with journeys to the extraordinary. Introducing Viking expeditions. Thoughtfully curated, refreshingly innovative, once-in-a-lifetime experiences in the wilds of the Arctic, Antarctica, and the Great Lakes, nestled in the heart of North America.
These are places that very few people will ever have the privilege of visiting, which is why it's so important for us to deliver the very best experience we possibly can to our guests. It's experiences that create memories for a lifetime, but also hopefully give them another lens through which they view our beautiful world.
Our Antarctic Explorer is a fascinating 13-day journey, introducing our guests to this majestic continent.
It is truly the greatest wilderness on the planet. In a world of nearly 8 billion people, there's a continent the size of North America that has not yet been colonized.
Its many wonders revealed to our guests by knowledgeable Viking experts.
It is somewhere that you viscerally experience, feeling the wind, feeling the isolation. You might have seen a sunrise before, but not like an Antarctic one. You might have seen bioluminescence before, but not like you'll see in the Southern Ocean. It's like with the volume dialed to 11.
During the Antarctic summer, the bitter cold weather gives way to long daylight hours and relatively mild weather, making it the perfect time to explore the many remarkable aspects of this pristine environment.
Seeing wildlife that is completely not scared of human beings. To see those in their natural habitat, in such abundance, in such a wild place, is quite an experience unlike anything else on the planet.
With extensive programs both on board and on shore, our guests will enjoy an unprecedented immersion into the grandeur of the last continent. At the top of the world, our Arctic adventure itinerary takes our guests to Svalbard and the edge of the polar ice cap for 13 days of unending exploration. They'll experience the stark, haunting beauty of the Arctic in the Svalbard archipelago, lands of rugged fjords, and much, much more.
The scenery is so unusual. The sea ice, the glaciers and the ice sheets are so outside of most people's normal experience. It is a completely different world. You really feel as though you're as far away as you possibly can be from civilization. And indeed you are.
In Svalbard, Viking guests will enjoy dramatic ice-sculpted landscapes in this ever-changing region. It's a robust ecosystem that bursts with life and activity for just a few precious months each year. This is a rare opportunity to search for nature's most elusive creatures under the lingering midnight sun. Beyond the breathtaking wildlife and raw beauty, our guests will explore other aspects of Svalbard, including remote outposts like Barentsburg, a Russian coal mining town carved from the wilderness. Mining thrived in Longyearbyen, Svalbard's capital, too, and our guests can step into this world below the surface. Or they can learn about Svalbard's important global seed bank as part of their fascinating adventure in the Arctic. Tucked into the border of the United States and Canada is an immense, deeply complex ecosystem where the world's largest body of fresh water stretches far beyond the horizon. The Great Lakes encompass more than 94,000 square miles. Viking now covers all of them with 4 intriguing itineraries. Voyages that explore their vast coastlines and stunning beauty.
We are going to learn more about the nature. We're going to make sure that we open the destinations to our guests in the way of interpreting what we see, in the way of explaining the natural phenomena.
With extensive programs on board and on shore, both above and below the surface, our guests will enjoy an unparalleled opportunity to learn more about the region, its pioneering past, along with its rich indigenous heritage, traditions, and culture.
We're going to have scientists, we're going to have senior lecturers that cover history, geology, biology, bringing everybody on board to a higher level of understanding.
It's part of our commitment to ensure Viking guests experience this spectacular region in a way most never will. The polar regions and the Great Lakes are rare treasures that really shouldn't be missed, and Vikings' approach is unlike any other.
The Viking way of exploring the world is designed to allow our guests to not only observe, but very much engage with the world. And you'll see that in our expeditions experiences, which set a whole new standard.
These are the thinking person's expeditions. We believe travel should be a doorway to insight and new discoveries. And every crew member on our expedition ships is committed to making those moments happen.
While some merely cruise to these places, with Viking expeditions, you are on an expedition ship, you're getting knowledgeable lecturers, bringing to life the history of the place and putting these places in a global context.
Before our guests travel, we recommend carefully curated reading materials and filmographies that inform and enlighten. And once the journey begins, our guests will find world-class lectures, access to experts, and extensive daily briefings.
Our aim is to always deliver extraordinary experiences wherever in the world our guests are sailing with us, and that there is always an educational component. I think we all aspire to know more, not less. And in the case of our expeditions experiences, there is a lot to learn.
Sharing these lands requires expertise. To help our guests best explore and understand these unrivaled destinations, we've assembled a world-class expedition team to lead and assist in these pristine places. Leaving our guests free to be curious, to learn and to explore in comfort, surrounded by the company of like-minded travelers.
We have an internal motto: if we can't do things well, we won't do it at all. And when it comes to our expeditions project, there are 3 critical components. It's the hardware, the ship, it's the software, the experts, and it's our partners.
To explore the world's most remote regions, there are 2 purpose-built, cutting-edge expedition-class ships, Viking Octantis and Viking Polaris. Inside our 378 guests will find serene Scandinavian interiors, plus panoramic views at every turn. And they'll experience all the comfort and elegance of our award-winning ocean fleet, including many of the beloved existing spaces so unique to Viking. When it comes to accommodations, there are 3 Nordic balcony stateroom categories, plus spacious Nordic balcony junior suites, explorer suites, and an owner suite.
Because we do have the most capable ship you can imagine. We will have so many opportunities. We are going to be able to put ourselves into those very favorable situations of being where the wildlife is, being where the ice is, and where it all happens.
To complement our advanced expedition ships, we hand-picked experts to lead our guests in these extraordinary environments. Our skilled expedition team consists of over 25 experts in their fields, each well-versed on the unique geography, geology, and wildlife our guests will encounter. They'll share insights and teach guests about these delicate ecosystems and the importance of preserving them for generations to come.
With the right expert by your side, you really can have an amazing experience, and worlds will open to you that you didn't even realize existed. I didn't realize that I was interested in flowers. Our leader handed me a microscopic monocular and had me focus in on a little saxifraga. That's an Arctic flower. And all of a sudden, I was transferred into this world of beauty, of color and pollen, and it was unbelievable.
To further enhance our enrichment program and commitment to destination-focused learning, we've also partnered with some of the world's most renowned institutions.
We're very pleased and proud and honored that several of the world's leading institutions within the fields of marine biology, botany, ornithology, glaciology, and atmospheric sciences have signed on. So we feel very fortunate and very credible in our efforts.
We are setting the bar at a new level. We are convinced there's not going to be others that have that level of education on board.
When it comes to itineraries, our expeditions in the polar regions are different from the set schedules of Viking's ocean and river ships.
Our itineraries are, of course, planned, but you can't dictate to nature. You cannot dictate the weather, you cannot dictate animal migration or appearances, so we are very flexible, such that we can seize the opportunity to capture those great moments when they happen.
While the itineraries are more structured on our Great Lakes voyages, Viking's unwavering commitment to discovery and learning is the same on all our expeditions, providing our guests with significant opportunities to immerse themselves in their surroundings, sending them home with memories they'll forever treasure.
I like to make sure that we are taking advantage of the serendipitous happenings and events that is going on in nature. That's why we've planned plenty of time. We are not in a rush to get from one place to another. The wildlife, the culture, and the things we observe set the agenda on our voyages. What we do end up with is a unique trip every single time we sail out.
Viking Expeditions is one more step in our drive to introduce our guests to as much of the world as possible.
Ultimately, our goal is to share with our guests more of the destination, more of the nature, more of the culture, more of the animals, more of the people. Let them get closer.
With the launch of Viking Expeditions, our guests will now be able to sail to the farthest reaches of the globe and explore closer to home. It's exploration the Viking way, in complete comfort.
What I like people to feel is that they become a part of the expedition team. You know, we're making this voyage together.
We'd like our guests to return home with much more than pretty pictures. That's nice too, but the experience should be profound.